Hey, it's Jeff Kiani, and let me ask you a question. What tools and technology do you require or even suggest that your team members or agents that join your organization use? Is it a CRM? Is it a way to get documents signed? Is it a way to create and manage lead flow? We all have technology and tools that we use every day as part of doing business. And when new agents join the team, it's usually part of that onboarding process to get them used to and learn how to leverage those tools. And so what we've been doing with a lot of our Branded Agent University partners recently has been asking them what tools and technology do they use. And normally what they're doing is they're pushing people to YouTube or that platform's evergreen tutorials on their site or something. And that's where they're pushing agents to go watch that. And so what we've been doing is once we get that list of tools and technology that you use, we'll go and source that content from wherever it is and get it inside of the university so that you have one place to send your agents to learn all the technology and tools that you're suggesting that they use. And so I wanted to show you an example, just as an example. It can be customized. We've even done it with some brokerages and independent brokerages who have some of their own training content. And so it can be customized if you have content. A lot of agents that we talk to, though, are really, leveraging the content that the platform puts out. But let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to share my screen, log into just a demo account that we have so I can show examples like this when we do something I think is cool. So I'm going to click on my button here. I'm going to create an account real quick. Just bear with me. I'm going to create an account just like I'm a brand new user. This will give everyone who hasn't seen this also the opportunity to understand what that path looks like. I'm just creating a user account here. Hopefully I haven't used that weird random combination of numbers before. So good. I'm inside. Number one, we always say, or I always say, if I'm on a walkthrough with you, that you see nothing here on my dashboard, and that's intentional. We usually want to control kind of what people see and create a custom learning path and point them to content based on where they're at, in their business. So this is intentional that I don't see anything. For this example, to show you the technology and what we've called it as a tools and technology and tools category, and that's where all this technology training is. And I'm going to put in a special code here to show you guys. Now you could have your own code, legacy technology, prosperity tech deck, whatever it is, we could come up with your own code. But in this case, for the example, I'm going to put in the code tech deck. And you'll see what it does is it releases some content to my dashboard, and it's all the technology training. Now this is combined kind of a bunch of stuff, depending on what technology you're using. Obviously only things that were relevant for you would unlock. But here I've got Red-X, KV Core, SkySlope, Boomtown, Chime, DigiSign, Follow Up Boss, how to take my Red-X data and turn it into a custom audience, Sierra Interactive CRM training. That was actually, the reason this has a Century 21 logo on it is because this was actually their own content and how to use Sierra. They have a relationship with Sierra, so it's a little bit different than the general the subscription you might have. So that's why that's a little bit different. We could do that for you. We created their own custom thumbnail, and they have their whole tech deck is all branded to them with their thumbnails and everything. And again, you probably wouldn't have all this. You wouldn't have 2-3 CRM trainings, but or maybe you might. Maybe you're just allowing agents who don't work directly with you the opportunity to kind of scope out some of the options. Either way, this makes it really easy when you have those new agents that come on board, being able to sit them down or give them the direction to sit down on their phone or their laptop and go to the KV Core training and just watch all of those. And I'll circle back with you in 2 or 3 days and we'll talk about any questions you have. By the way, I can pull up a report and see if you've watched any of these. So I expect that you will, because that's how we're going to be able to start working your sphere and start creating opportunities inside of the database, right? And that's a struggle, it seems like, for all of us. I used to run this service called Instacall. If you might have even worked with us at that time, this was probably over 5 years ago, but we had an ISA team. Miranda was actually one of the people that made the ISA calls. And we would call on behalf of agents all across the country, and we were a speed to lead solution. And we had 10 touch over the first 3 days, if I remember correctly, methodology where we touched each lead that came in, not only immediately, but we would touch it 10 times through different methods, different vehicles like text, voicemail, social media, et cetera. We touch it 10 times over the course of the first 3 days the lead came in. But anyhow, we logged into so many different CRMs. every client we had a different CRM, Real Geeks, Sync, Boomtown, Follow Up Boss, you name it. What was Bold Leads, because we'd have to get the leads from some their ZBuyer, all kinds of stuff. And we had to learn how to use each of those platforms. I was telling Miranda the other day, how cool would it have been if we had our own university like this and we had the training for all those platforms inside of it. And I could have told any of you or the new people that we brought on to just go there. And if a client has this CRM, go watch the training for it. They would have saved a lot of time. Anyhow, the point is, hopefully it saves some time for you and it actually gets the people on your team used to, and it gets them, to a point where they can use the technology, because as I'm sure you would agree, that's a big piece of their success these days. So if this all makes sense and you want us to do something like this for you, just click the link wherever you're watching this and we'll make sure to schedule a call and get on and talk to you about it.